Do you know how the bronze incense burner was made? Today it's a client friend of ours. They brought a mold for a copper incense burner. Come to our factory to try the mold. This is a molding machine with a flask size of 450x550 m. We will show you the process and effect of casting copper later. Come on. Our technical engineers are communicating with the customer. Molding machine trial details and function introduction. The engineers are discussing the placement of the mold to make a copper incense burner. Now load the mold onto the molding machine. Align the screw holes. It is fixed on the mold frame by the screws. Mode of molding machine. Cast aluminum mold with double-sided plate. Because it's an experiment, the client simply changed his hand molds. Reopen the mold for later batch production. This is a client friend, sent from his foundry. Red sand for copper casting. This is the sand core shell of the incense burner. It is made by using coated sand and core shooting machine. Because it is in our factory, the conditions are limited, and there is not much sand used for mold testing. We take this Gaza approach. Now bring in the sand from the customer's foundry. Red sand is added to the molding machine. If the customer is in normal production later, can pass through the conveyor belt. Send the red sand directly from the ground to the molding machine. Now joining the red sand. The screen shows no sand. After filling up the red sand, the sand status will be displayed on the screen. The molding machine can be operated. Molding machine can test the mold. Start the mold test. The mold is pushed out, and the cope and drag flasks are closed. The sand is then blown through the gas to keep the sand gauge from coming down when the sand blows. Then hydraulic extrusion is carried out. Pressure and time of hydraulic extrusion can be adjusted according to different casting. After compaction is completed, the cope and drag flasks are separated, then the mold goes back. At this time, you can see the effect of the sand mold. Now let's measure the hardness of the sand mold. The hardness of this sand mold is 86. The hardness of the sand mold in this place is 89. Almost 90. Let's take a look at the hardness of the upper sand mold. It also reached 89. Almost 90. The effect is good. Manufactured sand mold. Now put the sand core shell of the casting in. If the core shell is larger, in the later stage, you can choose the molding machine that can slide out the sand box and take out the sand core. In this way, the sand core shell is more convenient. Complete the link of sand core shell. Assemble the upper and lower sand mold, then through the cylinder. Push the sand mold onto the sand mold elevator. The sand mold is lowered to the ground by the sand mold lifter. Finally, it passes through the pulling trolley of the sand mold. Pull out the finished sand mold, placed in a vacant position in the workshop. Normal production in later period. It can also be matched with sand chain plate conveyor line, or a sand mold ground rail line, a trolley conveyor line. Realize automatic production. The customer came forward to check the effect of the sand mold. Satisfied with the effect of sand mold. This is the water inlet. Before pouring, we cover the sand mold with a box. The purpose of putting on the box: to cover the parting surface of the sand mold. Prevent fire escape during pouring. Now we come to the smelting site. Because the customer came to our factory to do the test, couldn't bring the electric smelting furnace from their factory, so they just brought the traditional carbon stove. By burning coal to obtain the temperature of the molten copper. Next, we put in the middle furnace of the carbon furnace, used to hold molten copper. This is the raw material for smelting copper water in our experiment today. Now add it to the carbon stove. Copper water can be obtained after a period of time. Welcome to the pouring site of our trial today. The copper water has been smelted. The casing and the weight of the sand mold are also completed. The next step is to pour in copper water. After a period of time, the blank of the copper incense burner can be obtained. The pouring master poured the molten copper into the sand mold. Solidify after about half an hour of cooling. Pouring completed. Remove the sand mold weight. Then take off the sand mold jacket. Finally, after turning over the box, then take out the bottom plate of the sand mold. After a series of operations, we are about to get the blank casting of the copper incense burner. The technical engineer is checking it carefully. Blank parts of copper sensor. Whether the characters, patterns and patterns are clear. Now we use steel brushes. Clean up the remaining sand on the surface. This is the blank of the copper incense burner we are testing today. Let's take a look. Clear text, clear pattern, structural integrity. The effect is very good. Short blasting, grinding, processing and other processes in the later stage. You will get a more beautiful cast copper incense burner. Thank you very much.